Okay. Gonna give the others a few minutes to join the live. I know this is our first live for 2023. So a lot of viewers might not know what's up. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that on Facebook. And if you're on, I see several people already joined. Hey, Julian. You can go ahead and please share this link on your Facebook if you don't mind, or share it in a WhatsApp group somewhere so that others can join. So I'm going to be sharing it on my Facebook page, Kicking with Dr. Britton, for those who will be watching on Facebook. Also, I will be going live on IG, but I think only me will be shown on that, but our guests will be heard on IG. So again, thanks for joining, guys. I know you all are so excited. Somebody sent me a message asking me, I think last week, if I was going to be going live. And I told the person not last week, but this week. So this is our new season. Shared it on Facebook earlier. Thank you, Julian. So I know a lot of you missing, our weekly Sunday lives where we share with other international educators. It is really a privilege to have our guest this evening. I know so many teachers from all over the globe, not just Jamaica, are interested in, going abroad to teach, but they would like to have first-hand experiences from people who have, done it before. So today we have with us Miss Simonique Hanchard, who will be sharing her experience with us in the United States. Hey, Alicia. So I share that on Facebook. All right. Still giving others a few minutes more to join. We have 6:03. We're going to begin maybe at 6:05 thereabout, so that we allow all the viewers who are interested in coming on to listen a chance to learn something this evening from our lovely guest. All right, so I'm setting up my IG also for those who will be viewing from IG. All right. I think I did the wrong live. Hey, Keisha. Hey, Tanya. And Khalil. Hope I'm saying that properly. Hey, Danica. All right, so we're going to begin. I think I got that fixed and ready. Hey, Carol, always present. And O'Shea, hope I'm saying that properly. O'Shea Daily, hey. All right, so this evening, guys, we have the privilege of having with us a young lady who will be sharing her teaching experience here in the United States. And I must say, specifically in Florida, I know a lot of Jamaican teachers, I'm not sure about other countries. They really like going in Florida because, it's more city life, which not all parts are city life, but they usually ask about going to Florida to, get their teaching experience. So our individual today is in Florida. This is our fifth year teaching there in Florida, and she's going to be sharing with us her teaching experience in the United States. We look forward to learning a lot from her this evening. And I hope those who aspire to be international teachers will take something from her this evening. So let's get straight into the introduction. Eyes pink, heart shaped. What is Julian talking about? I need a front seat. Anyway, hey guys, those are on IG. So, our guest today is Simonique Hanchard, and she has been a teacher for the past 13 years. She has experience in primary education and she currently teaches third grade in Orange County, Florida. She has been named Teacher of the Month as well as given Class of the Month award at her current school. I tell you, anywhere Jamaicans go, we're just going to do it. She earned her degree, she earned her diploma at St. Joseph Teachers College. So, I'm a Josephite, so I'm going to say, woohoo! And all the Josephites, let me see in the comment. So, she earned her diploma at St. Joseph Teachers College and her degree at the International University of the Caribbean. She also received the award for transformational leadership at ICU, as well as the Principal Award in her studies. Talk about bright. Miss Hanchard is passionate about teaching and have a natural love for children. Han representing Anne Picking, yes, representing St. Joseph. She has a passion for children, and she's the third of three children for her father and the first of three for her mother. So she has the experience of a first child and the last child. So I don't know how that goes. She absolutely loves spicy seafood and ramen noodle. Guys, please help me welcome today Miss Simonique Hanchard. Welcome, 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 Simonique.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for having me, Dr. Britton. It's a pleasure being here today.
Thank you. All right, guys. Josephine here. Big up, big up, big up. Yes.
Woo-hoo.
Hey, Donna. So, yes, we're going to represent once we are Josephines. Everybody are going to represent for their college. So, we have to represent for ours, right?
Which is right, which is right.
Yes. So, all right, so Monique, we're going to get straight into it, guys. It's our usual session. We're going to do our in question and answer session, and then at the end, you can ask your questions. Today, what we're going to be focused on mainly, though, is how Simonique overcome her challenges in her first year of teaching. I know a lot of international teachers, when you go abroad, whether it be the United States or the Middle East, wherever you go, you are faced with some type of challenge because it is a new experience and it is not going to matter whether you've been teaching like 10 years, 20 years. It's a new culture, a new environment, new ways of doing things. And so we all face different struggles. So today she will be sharing with us how she overcame some of those struggles. But we're going to get straight into some of our basic questions like getting to know Simonique. All right. So can you tell us, Simonique, did you always want to become a teacher?
Such a great question. My mom would be the perfect person to answer this question for you because she would
Mm-hmm.
tell you ever since I was 6 or 7, she would find me on the veranda because in Jamaica we have what is called a veranda, and she
Yeah.
had some plants on the veranda, and she's a plant person. So every time I was missing in action, she could find me out there teaching the plants and writing on the door, and so it has always been a part of me. And then every child that I've ever been around, somehow it's just natural in me to either teach them how to read or something educational. So I must say it has grown with me. But growing up, I always wanted to be a lawyer. I always
Oh,
thought that I would do a great job being a family lawyer.
yeah.
But then the good Lord puts you where he thinks you are fit best.
That is true. That is true. All right. So, what motivated you to teach in the United States?
Honestly, being a teacher in Jamaica, it's fun. You get to be yourself. The kids, the students, they're wonderful to work with. But I wanted to explore more.
Mhm.
As an educator, you always want more for yourself. So I
Yes.
decided, I want to be exposed to different teaching styles, different resources that we might not be able to afford in Jamaica. So the number one thing was just to explore my band.
Yeah. That's good. All right. So, currently in Florida, where you are, can you tell us like what's the class size, how many students you have, and overall compared to what you've experienced before, is it better or would you say the same?
Okay. Let me say, well, class size, it's a lot better. As opposed to in Jamaica, you had 40s and 30s students in one room, and the ratio is like to one teacher, no like assistant or whatever. And then here, the classroom size never usually exceeds like 22, but currently I have 18.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in terms of the students' behavior, though, I'd leave the other international teachers to tell you the real truth about that. But I'd say it's better in some sense.
Yeah.
Better in some sense, meaning as a teacher, I mean, you face stress, you go through stress, but the resources that you have are just so limitless. The support system is great. So, even if you come across that one student who you just feel like you can't reach that student, there are just so many different things and so much different help that you actually get in helping that student to be successful.
Yeah.
So I gotta say, I mean, I can't bash my country, because I love Jamaica, gone to bed.
Yes.
But honestly, I'm telling you, if we had half the resources that we have here in the United States back home, our educational system would be one of the top of the top. You know?
Yes. I
Yeah,
believe. I believe.
yeah.
I believe.
So I
Yeah.
can't really say any is better. I'd say 50-50, because
Yeah.
six of one, half dozen of the next.
And when I said better, I was talking like the comparing the classroom size and stuff like that and
Right.
resources.
Yeah.
Definitely not cannot bash Jamaica because that's our roots. And
Yep.
yes, when we look back on it and we
Mm-hmm.
see how much our students have learned at a
Mm-hmm.
particular level, and then when we compare what they're learning in a different country, you see that we have a lot of rigor in Jamaica. It's
Definitely.
more rigor and not just in elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when you go to teachers' college and the university, the rigor is just, there.
Listen,
So,
and if you were a Josephite, you know the extreme rigor.
yes. And that's why when our kids come to the United States or wherever they go, they usually excel because they are used to this rigorous thing already from back home in the classroom. So yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, so
Definitely.
I must agree with you that if we had all those resources or even
Mm-hmm.
half those resources, we would
Mm-hmm.
be doing so much more.
So much more for these babies, trust me.
Yes. All right. So, you mentioned the resources. Can you tell us some of the professional learning opportunities you have been exposed to since you've been here? I know you said this is your fifth year in Florida. Have you been exposed to professional development that you really like? Oh my God, this was really good, and I can use this back if I go back home or if I move to a different state or wherever I go. This is something that is staying with me.
Yes, I have to agree 100% on that one. Speaking about the resources for the students, I mean, each child is provided with a laptop or a tablet because
Yeah,
most of our platforms are digital, which makes it so much easier for us. You know, it's done away with the chalk and talk and then the grading system. I mean, I can use Canvas and create a lesson for my students. I'm seeing what they're doing. I'm able to monitor them online while they work. While I'm teaching, I still have that smart board that I'm using for like reference and stuff.
yeah,
All the lessons, all the lessons are strictly PowerPoint based, and it's a lot of Kagan strategies moving around the room. So the first technology is a laptop, which is a plus for me because it
yes,
eliminates that book, the whole heap of book them. Back in
yes,
Jamaica, we had one book per subject. Up here, these kids don't even know how to write in a book these days because everything has become so digital. I
that's
mean, you
true.
try to include it, but honestly, it would have to go back to the baby days, like the early stage, like kindergarten.
Yes,
But I still think the use of technology has been good because kids learn best through technology, believe it or not, because these children these days, this generation, and moving forward, it's like
yes,
they're born with technology already instilled in their brain. So trying to get them to write a story with pencil and paper as opposed to typing the story, believe me, it works wonders. It works wonders. And then you asked about professional developments.
yeah,
There has been so many. Right now I have certificates piled up to the top like this because it's like every week it's another development. They're teaching you different strategies that you can use to reach your students, for ones that are low, ones that are in the middle, ones that are high. They give you enrichment ideas. It's just a whole lot of different things that you're given. Like, it's just so endless and it's so helpful because I mean, as a teacher, you're growing, but then when you see the success, like at the end of the year, when you see like your FSA scores or stuff like that, you're
yeah,
saying, oh my God, did I really do this? Like students come to you from like kindergarten level. And because I'm in third grade, it's expected that they're mastering up to a third grade level before going out to fourth. And when you can see that growth in a students, it's really, it's
yeah,
empowering to you as an educator. But then that little soft part in your heart where you really love what you're doing, trust me, man,
yes,
it does
yes,
so much for you. So much.
that's true. Somebody on IG says Miss Anchard helped to mold my daughter in prep school, and she's now
Oh,
a U.S. Navy sailor.
oh yes, that's my girl Alice. Listen, so many of my past students, especially from Jago Prep, they keep in touch and they're like, "Oh my God, I miss you so much. You're the best teacher ever."
Yes,
Listen,
good.
the roots run deep.
Very good teacher. She's a very good teacher. And
Oh,
when a parent can come and say that, you know.
yes,
Yes,
yes, believe me,
yes,
trust
yes,
me.
yes. Thanks for that, Mrs. Laban. All right, so can you tell us about lesson planning? Because that's another sore point for teachers. Lesson planning. What is lesson planning like where you are currently?
If you want to become an international teacher, I'm telling you, and this is like a little ad, become one. You do not have to write lesson plans, people. I repeat, you do not have to write lesson plans.
Right.
They're
Mm-hmm.
already created by the district. Lesson plans are written by the district, PowerPoints are done by the districts, intervention tools are provided by the district. The only thing that you as a passionate, caring teacher will do now is to read the lesson and like tweak it to fit your learner type, because
Yeah.
not all learners learn the same way. So you want to, tweak it a
Yes.
little bit. But you don't have to
Mm-hmm.
write the lesson plan really because everything is already done for you.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. Somebody in the comments here on I think YouTube would say, well, look like me alone salt because I guess she has to write lesson plan. I don't know what's happening there, but I know most of
Mm-hmm.
these schools, they have a curriculum guide and
Mm-hmm.
they come with the teacher's guide. And these
Mm-hmm.
teacher's guides usually have lesson plan telling you word for word what to
What's the
say.
lesson?
So if you use your teacher guide, and I know in my previous school, we didn't even have to copy back the things from the teacher guide. We could just refer to the page in the teacher's
Mm-hmm.
guide. For example, if we're going to be doing teacher's guide page 12 and we're going to do point A, B, and C, we would just write that, on the, they gave us something like a little layout to put what is it you're going to be doing, and that's it.
Right. That's it. You
But
copy and
no way
paste.
we were sitting down writing introduction and activities and closing and all that.
And
That was
sometimes,
already laid out in the teacher's guide. So I'm not sure what's happening in my
right.
lovely lady school district there.
And I'm thinking, too, with that privilege, it allows you to really hone in more on the focus, like the meat of the lesson. So it's already prepared. So all you're doing now is going in and seeing how can I do this with strength, or if
Yes,
possible misconceptions, prepare for it and stuff like that. I think it's just so much better having it done already, and then you
yeah,
personalize it for yourself.
yes, it is. It is. And it
Hmm.
takes, how should I say, it allows teachers more freedom and flexibility, as you say, to do more.
Hmm.
Because
Definitely.
after working so hard on a lesson plan, you're basically drained.
I'm
So it,
telling
it,
you.
it, it does help. All right. So we know you're in Florida, and I know when sometimes when I think about Florida, I think about Disney World.
Oh,
Are
yes.
you are you close to that area? And is it expensive in that area? Because I know some parts in Florida can be expensive, especially if it's in that area.
Yes, definitely. From Disney World, I'm living about 20 minutes out from Disney World, but I still consider where I live like the city, because you have like Universal and stuff that are nearby. In terms of expense, like no, ever since COVID it has really hiked up. But before it was affordable. The only thing that I find really expensive here is like for rent.
Yes,
Renting here is very expensive, very expensive. So to any budding personal not personal budding international teachers, I'd say when you're coming, you try to get a roommate
yes,
to share apartment with.
yeah,
And I mean, yeah, because it really do help your pocket. And wherever you can team up to do things, team up and do it, because believe me, teamwork goes a far far way.
yeah. All right. Can you say which program you came on?
I
And
came
was it
on.
and was it hard for you to get on? Was it like your first year trying, or you had to do several tries before you got accepted on the teaching program here?
No. All right. So I applied in about 2016 and I got through instantly. However, I had death in my family and I decided I was going to hold off a little bit. So I didn't end up coming until 2018. I am with Educational Partners International. It was a smooth journey. I'd say the hardest part of that journey was just getting all the paperwork done, because, going to the different schools,
Yes.
getting all the different things done in time. And then I kind of decided at last minute when I was gonna come, which is one thing I tell people not to do, really plan for this. Because it was like the June, I decided, all right, you know what, I'm gonna do this finally. So it was about the June that I finished doing everything. Even though I'd gotten through before, I had kind of put it on hold. And then about the June, I got the requirements of the visa and all of that stuff, and then put that in. So I didn't get here until like August. And coming here, you're gonna have to do the drug test and all of those things. So the journey with educational partners getting here was smooth,
Mm-hmm.
but the rigor comes in when you're actually here, having to find the apartment, having to find this, to find that. But once you found it and you settled, everything was good to go.
All right, so thanks for that. We're gonna get straight into now though your struggles for the first year. As I mentioned earlier, that with everything that we do in life, there's sometimes going to be some type of struggle, and it doesn't matter at how good you are at something. There
Mm-hmm.
might be time that we are going to face some type of struggles, but then it's for us to pick ourselves back up and move on. And I know a lot of people on here are saying they really want to hear about how you cope on for your first year, especially for people who are in their first year and they are trying to find strategies and ways on how to cope. Can you tell us what was, or should I say, what were some of your main struggles in that first year that you came?
Okay. Separate and apart from, you go through personal stuff in life that can really drain you because, living in Jamaica was never easy. So that was the first thing, personal struggles. But then coming here, living on your own, like you have family, but they're not around. The
Yeah.
support that you would want, you didn't really have it
Anytime.
at first, right? So that's the first thing that can break it down mentally. And then
Yes.
coming to a new environment, you're going to a new school. Remember now, you didn't get to start out with the students because when I got here, I didn't get to start working until September because it's a whole lot of issues down by the county's office where there were, it's like too many people all at once basically. So it was a
Yes.
lot of delays, so I didn't get to start teaching until September 1st. So by then my students would have been in 1 month with substitutes every day, and
Mm-hmm.
those substitutes could not lay that foundation for you to say, okay, these are my rules, these are
Yes.
my expectations, I expect you to abide by it, here are my consequences, and so on. So I'd say not being able to start out with your students was one of my biggest
Yes.
issues, and then not getting that time to bond with my colleagues because school is already started, and then being at such a crucial grade because third grade is one of the grades that makes up the school grade. So being at such a crucial grade, everybody's busy with their class, just trying to get these children on it because believe me, the kind of school that we're at, some of the children, they're really, really low. So
Yeah.
because of that, it's a struggle, and so everyone is more focused on what they have to do. So having the time to help you now to transition, it's hard if you didn't get to start out at first. So believe me, it was chaotic for me at first, coming in, trying to see how they do stuff on the computer, to find the different platforms, to read, to even find the lesson plans was one of my biggest issues, like
Yeah.
where they hold it, and then finding it now, you see a whole heap of pages, they don't even know what to do, how they plan it out, if they go day by day. It was a struggle just getting settled. The
Yes.
classroom was undone. So, you're trying to do the classroom plus doing this. Let me tell you, Dr. Britton, I would get to school as early as 6 a.m. every morning, and I
Mm-hmm.
would not be leaving until like 10 p.m. at night. When the custodians are leaving, that's when I leave too. I leave with them because I'm sitting
Wow.
reading through, because you love what you do and you want to do it to your best ability. You know what
Yes.
I mean? And then it's so crucial at the grade that you move these students. So not
Yes.
having not having that knowledge of how they do things, because being a teacher is natural. You can teach, if you can teach from, you can teach. You see
Yes.
me? But knowing how they present it to their students and how the district wanted it was, one of my other issues. And then joining the school at the time, our schools here, we go by grades, like I mentioned earlier on. So the school was at the bottom of the scale when I
Right.
got there. So being at the bottom of the scale, you would get intervention from like the district, from the state, like they would come in all the time, all the time. 2 3 times per week, they're in your classroom, they're looking at what you're doing, making notes. Oh my God, that made me so nervous.
Yeah.
Sometimes I had to question myself as a teacher. I was wondering, am I doing the right thing? Because you feel so pressured. The
Yes.
pressure can really come down on you when you see the state standing in your room looking at what you're doing, making notes,
Right.
going to comment to the principal afterward, and then you know the principal is going to come and say, oh, this and oh, that. And it was very hard at first, very,
Yes.
very hard. Let me tell you, man, just the transition was the hardest part.
Yeah.
Transitioning over from what I was used to in Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
coming here to doing it as they want it, because they're very specific about what they want to. If you're
Yes.
not doing it this way, it means that,
Yes.
believe me, it means that you ain't a great teacher. You could be one of the best teachers. If you ain't doing it their way, you ain't teaching. So it was
That is
very hard.
that is so true. And I don't mean to cut but the part where you say doing it their way. And I
Hmm.
mentioned earlier, it doesn't matter how much of a good teacher you are and how well you do it back home, whichever country you're coming from. They have a set way of how they want things to be done, and they want it to be done their way. So that
Hmm.
can be a struggle. And
Yeah.
another struggle I heard you mention, thank you, Diane. I see Diane sent $2.
Oh, thank you.
Another thing that another thing that I know can be a struggle is coming in late. You
Oh, yes.
said school started in August, which in most cases school starts in August, but you didn't start until September 1st. So
Hmm.
already your kids are in school and they are used to just doing what they're doing.
Whatever
And
they
then you are
wanted
going
to
to come
do.
in September 1st and try
Yep.
to change that to how you want it to be done. So that's a struggle within itself right there.
Hmm.
So I can definitely relate. But can you tell us? You mentioned also about staying from 6 to 10 to learn the lesson planning and that. And I want to share with the viewers that usually when you come in before school open, there are usually professional development, or there's a week where teachers go in for training. And especially new teachers have their new teacher meeting where you are um, introduced to the way they do their lesson plans, how you do the different things they want in the classroom, differentiated learning, whatever strategies or whatever they expect. A week before the children come in, teachers usually go in and get this knowledge, correct?
Yes, that's true. Yes.
But for your case, as Simonique is saying, she was not there for that part, and so that made it difficult for her. Okay.
Yes.
So that made her have to be there from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock, trying to learn things on her own.
And that was by choice. That was by choice. It's not like I was forced to do it. I
I
just
know.
preferred, because once I got home, I wouldn't want to look at anything. So I just prefer to stay there. So I don't want anybody to think it's, like it's a forced or you have
I
to,
I
or
don't think that I don't think they would think it's a by force. That's because you wanted to do it.
right.
But at the same time, it can be stressful. Can you tell us how did you eventually, get the kids to do? How did you eventually get them to do what you wanted to do? What type of procedures and rules did you put in place? What are some strategies that you did to get settled? After jumping in on September 1st.
Okay. So my group of students, first of all, that year was one of the hardest years, not only
Okay.
because I started late, but also because there were a lot of behaviorally challenged boys grouped in one room. And any classroom that is heavy on boys, especially behaviorally challenged one, is gonna be hard. So I had to come up with different calls, like chants, different activities that they liked. I gave them a brain break. Like
Yes.
for every period, I do a quick brain break where they get to express themselves through action, movement, or sounds. So I find that that kind of helped to tone them down. Also, a lot of routines and procedures. Like I would have to have a routine for almost everything. I would have to have a routine if I'm changing the subject. I'd have to have a routine if I'm going to line up to go to lunch, line up to go to specials, line up to go to another room. I have to have routines for everything.
Yeah.
Routine if I'm teaching. This is what you do when I'm teaching, and I have to like drill it. I have to do it daily. I have to be consistent with it. And
Yes.
the most rewarding part is the rewards, of course. You're not only having routines, but you also reward them if they if they follow that routine, if they're doing all the right things, you reward them, as well as if they fall offline, then there are consequences that you also apply. But I
Yeah.
want to say, to get them settled, like really settled, it took a lot of going back to the classroom rules all the time, being consistent with those routines and procedures, and really leveling down with them, like respecting them and not demanding the respect. Because it's different when you show children love and you show them that you actually respect them and that you actually care about them, as
Yeah.
opposed to being demanding. We call it SEL here, social emotional learning, where instead of yelling at a child when they do something the wrong way, praise the right that they did and still find a way to correct that wrong, if you understand what I'm saying. So it took
Mhm.
a lot of work, but I must say, with those consistencies, I managed to manage the classroom before it got out of hand any further.
Okay. So, did you along the way now pick up any, strategies that also helped you? Because I know people in the comment section is asking, what would you do for the child who's continuously misbehaving, and, stuff like that. What did they share any strategies with you, or that's something you had to, learn along the way on how to cope with your boys? Especially you mentioned a class of boys, and I currently have a class of boys, so I know what it means to have a class of boys.
Listen, like I told you earlier on too about the support system, it's great here. They're very huge on support. So if I had a student that was a little bit more challenged than the others, they created what was called a calm corner. So the calm corner is like a corner that I designed. It's very comfy. It has different special activities that they can do to basically help them to calm or identify their emotions and find ways to fix it in that corner. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like fidgets, things that you can fidget with, emotion board, stories, markers that you can smell, anything to calm someone, you would put it in that corner. So that's one thing that they developed, the calm corner, as well as we do have a dean. So if ever there was a moment that something become unbearable, then you could always call for support, and the dean would come in and remove the student, and then you just focus on instruction, because that's one thing about here, they're huge on instruction. They don't like anything at all to disturb instruction. So the moment the teacher has to call, or the moment the teacher have to stop instruction, they immediately handle it, and you don't really have to worry about it. But as a teacher, not taking away your teacher rights, there are different things that you can do with that student. You can
Mm-hmm.
either give that student a responsibility, because I remember one student of mine, he was a different individual, very different. But I realized that he also possessed good, in fact excellent leadership qualities. And
Yes.
so I put him as the class helper, and putting him as the class helper and explaining his role as responsibilities, it was able to help him to change those unwanted behaviors. So that's another good strategy too. Um, if you didn't want to take away teacher rights from the classroom.
Your sound went.
Uh oh.
Oh yeah, but it's back. It's back.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for that, Simonique. I see somebody in the chat says, another very good strategy is 2 for 10. And I think that's one of your friends, Sherry
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
So
We went to
I'm
school
not sure if
together.
you are aware of 2 for 10
No,
and
I
could
don't know
share.
what is two for
No,
10.
okay. Okay. All right. So 2 times 10 or 2 times 10. Well, thanks for that, Simonique. So my
Mhm.
next question is, would you recommend teachers to teach abroad?
Someone just sent you $10. Whoop whoop. Of
Ooh,
course
that's
I would.
Rochelle Campbell. Thank you, Rochelle, and thank you, Diane. And for that lovely note, Diane, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, Donna, about the Gideon. I'm very sorry. But all experiences are different. I hope yours get better soon. Really. Thank you, Rochelle. All right.
Danica said
So
she's in tears. My
you have
friends are
me in
here.
tears, Danica. Oh my God. All right. So would you recommend teachers to teach in the United States or to experience teaching abroad overall?
110% on that one. If you are passionate about what you do and if you really love what you do, listen, this is no regrets and this is no turning back either. Once you start, you just don't want to stop.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. So, all right. So, from your experience, and we're going to come to the question and answer section soon. I need a calm corner for Nessa. Good job, sis. All right. So, if you have a question, you can put your questions in the chat box. We're coming to the question and answer section shortly. But I just want Simonique to wrap this up before we go to the question and answer section. What advice would you give to a teacher who aspires or actually got a job to come here in the United States or wherever they're going, whether it's England or in the Middle East? What advice would you give to those teachers?
All right. The first thing that I'd say to those teachers is do it. Do it. Don't second guess it. Don't think two times about it. Pray about it, manifest it, and do it. I mean, culturally, you won't be shocked, as a lot of people would say. You have culture shock when you go to a different place. You
Yeah.
won't be shocked. You'll get to be yourself while learning other things that are very, very helpful to you as an educator. I'd say just, focus on getting it. When you get here, you try to build yourself more, go back to school, keep climbing that ladder of success. Don't just stop at your bachelor's or your master's. Go to the highest point
Yeah.
possible. And then when you're done, you can start other accolades. It's just the opportunities here are limitless. So I'd say don't limit yourself to anything. If you want to open a business, open a business. If you want to buy a house, buy a house. Whatever it is that you would like to do, you can do
Just
it, you
do
can
it.
achieve it.
Just do it like Nike.
Just
And
do it.
Diane said, do it with thy might whole, my coding.
Yes.
All right, so thanks for that, Simonique. We're gonna come to the question and answer section, guys. I know a lot of Simonique friends, colleagues are online. Guys, if you have something that you would like to share with other teachers, with the teaching community that comes to listen, go ahead and send me a message on IG. Don't be shy. Send me a message. I have been sending out that flyer requesting teachers to come and share their international experience in the United States. You don't know who you will be helping with sharing, and I think as a teaching community, it is always a good idea for us to share what our experiences are with others so that they can know, or have an idea of what to expect. All right, so with that said, we're going to take a 30-second break and then we'll be right back. All right, I was talking to the people on IG. So we're back, guys. So if you have a question, go ahead and put it in the chat box. I know some questions went earlier while we were doing the question and answer section. I will go back to see if I can find some of those questions as well. Um, It's very rough the first year, but we are fighters. I'm in my first year. I mean, I tell you, Jaja, but, but come this far by faith. I know, Tania, it can be real hard. No joke. Do I
I
have to apply for a work permit for my 2-year-old to get tax return? No. For tax return, you can just apply for an IT number, and that can be applied for when you file for your taxes. All right. Giselle says, I need a calm corner. I think I said that already. I'm going to go
Mhm.
back to the top so I can get some of the questions that we missed earlier.
Okay.
And then if other questions come after, we'll go back to those. All right. Cultural twist cuisines, really. So it's only Jamaica. You have to do it from scratch. Lesson planning, she was talking about. I am super proud of Simonique and glad to be a part of the journey to the state. Big up my sister, my daughter teacher from St. Richard's. So you taught at St. Richard's and also at St. Jago Prep, correct? Sound gone. Sound gone. Your mic is muted. Yeah, go ahead now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, I was saying yes, I was at St. Jago first, and then I went to St. Richard's, St.
Okay.
Richard's Primary.
Look, somebody asks, is it a must that you teach at a private school after getting your extensions after 5 years? No.
Private.
Mm-mm. No, you can teach at any school, public school, private school, any school. Um, Somebody said it is not truly a cultural exchange. They need workers. Yes, ma'am. You coming here to work. Thank you, Dr. Britton, for going above and beyond to get us all the required information needed to succeed in the Gideon. We appreciate you.
Yes. Big
Thank you,
up, Dr.
Diane. Somebody asked, what are the exam grades? I know you teach an exam grade, Simonique, so you might can answer.
Okay, so for fourth, third through fifth, we have what is called the FSA. Even though they've done away with it now and they're now doing fast, but it would be grades like CXC grades. However, they range from 1 to 5. 1 being the lowest, which is not a passing grade. Two is the it's passing, but proficiency is really 3 through 5. So you're proficient if you score a 3, and your mastery if you score a 5. So 4 is in between, and that goes from third through fifth. Those grades now they go over with them to middle school, where they
Mm-hmm.
also have to do that FSA again. And it's
Okay.
like I said, it's like CXC grading system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's yeah,
And
ranging
every
from 1 to 5.
and every state has their own exams.
Yes,
Because yeah.
yes.
Okay. All right. My first year was rough too. I taught for a whole year without receiving training because I was late too. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Believe it, man. Being late. Oh gosh.
Someone said this is why I couldn't and will never teach elementary kids. I don't have the patience. See?
But I
And
feel like middle school and high school is worst though.
me too. I prefer elementary and I'll
I
stay
prefer
there.
elementary because I mean you can train them. With these
Hmm.
middle school and high schoolers, listen, I'm grown. Who are you talking to like that?
Right. Danica said, I'm just so happy for your journey.
Thank you,
Alicia
my
Dunn says,
darling.
Sim, you're doing an awesome job.
Thank you, Alicia.
Wesley Lakeman says she is an excellent teacher.
Oh, I taught his son at St. Jago Prep.
Wow.
Big up, Billy.
And they're not forgetting their teacher.
Listen.
Mhm. So can she apply for PR now? No, that's not how it works. Smells real good.
That's
That
when you
there's a process.
they're
Great
complaining to
information,
Canada.
lady. Huh? one one resilient set of people will be them care all way again. That's true. That's true. That's true. What subject you teach, and would you ever teach high school? A question from Jay Waters.
Okay, so in elementary, you don't get to choose subjects. You are general ed, so you teach all the subjects: math, English, science, social studies, and sometimes I put in a little music, but I'm not the real music teacher. You know how we Jamaicans can be. We have to
Yes,
include everything in everything because that's just how they learn best.
right.
Um, in terms of high school, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, I am afraid. I
Yes,
don't think I'd excel as well in high school. I think those students would probably look at me crazy because I like humor, and when I'm teaching I'm very humorous. I'm full of holy jump up and down and go like me crazy.
yes.
Grab the students' attention, really engage them. Going into high school and me acting like that, they're gonna look at me and wonder if is she okay?
At first,
I don't know. I don't know if I could be able to adapt to a high school setting. I don't know.
at first they will, but after a while, if they get used to it, trust me, they
Oh yeah.
want to be a part of it. Yes.
Well, I guess
Tony Stores is saying, how was the process filing your extension after 3 years, and did you switch to H-1B visa?
the process was extremely easy because I didn't have to do anything. The only thing
Right.
that I really had to do was to reply to an email if I wanted to stay or if I wanted to go back home.
Yes, that's
So
it.
that's it. And no, I did not transition to a H1 visa.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Your name, Simonique, it's unique.
It is.
H, H
Thank you to
Dion
my
or
mom.
Tadine.
Thank you to my mom and my stepmom. I don't know where they got the combination from, but they worked it out, and here's my name.
Simonique.
Simonique.
Your mom and who? Simonique.
My mom and my stepmom.
Okay. All right. Diane says, congrats, Monique. Oh,
Thank
yes.
you, Diane.
Monique is in Simonique. All
Yeah,
right.
they call me Monique. They
Rachel.
call me all kind of things.
Rachel Elizabeth Henry says, proud of you, my daughter. Congratulations. Love you, hon. Love
That's my
mommy.
sister, but his mommy talking on my sister's account. Love you too, mommy.
All
Big up,
right.
mommy.
Ace that chemistry. At what point would you recommend bringing dependent children to join you?
Um, if I would say the same time that you are coming, because getting them in school and all of that, it can be tricky, especially if the school that you're going to be teaching at is not zoned in your area and they don't want to allow your child to come to your school. So I'd say if you decide from the moment that you're coming, I'd say once you know you have the help in terms of if you have to step out on the street one day, there's someone to leave them with, I'd say bring them from the get-go.
In that case.
Yes.
All right. Math with Michiko says, thanks for answering my question. Kamara says, hi, I'm so proud of you. Love you. Love you,
Oh, love you
sweetie.
too, mommy.
Um, Key teacher of the millennium, Kimiko. High school students behave the same. I joined late. How long have you been teaching in the US and what state?
I've been here for 5 years and I'm currently in Florida.
Yeah. All right. They are humorous. They are the big kids on steroids, basically. Thanks, Dr. Britton and guests, for the motivation. I'm looking forward to starting my journey in North Carolina. Congratulations, Marlene.
Whoop,
I
whoop.
behave, I behave just the same as an elementary teacher. So,
Okay.
what happens now that you are done with 5 years?
Um, you can choose to go back home as well as you can choose to explore. Explore some more.
Explore some more. That's true. When I talk about my kids, everyone asks if it's elementary, and I'm at a high school. High school, hard, yeah, me ear the story. Them. Did you get to choose? Did you get to choose to go to Florida? Did EPI give you a choice? I know
No.
other programs would just place teachers in. North Carolina or South Carolina?
Okay, they didn't give you a choice. However, when you did your interviews, because the interviews didn't just come from one state.
Right.
So if you had gotten through to more than one state, then you could choose which you would go.
All right. Do you get paid for summer? How do you pay bills for that month?
Summers are unpaid here because we're on what is called a 10-month contract. So they advise at the beginning of the year for you to do what is called a differential pay. So what that is, it's basically taking a portion out of your monthly salary, or your bi-weekly salary rather, and you put it into what is called a deferred account. So then when summer comes, they pay you out that money that you had in that account. Usually that's in the high numbers, so you're able to manage the summer months once you did that differential payment.
And I can add to that also for the person asking that question. Most states really they only pay for 10 months, but they give you an option to say, okay, for the 10 months, we can divide it by 12. And so you still get that salary for July and August. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's the same in Jamaica, but we just believe that we're getting free money. It's not free money. It's actually
That's
your yeah, it's actually your 10 month salary. They're divided into 12
into
months, and that's why you're being
exactly.
paid
Hmm.
in July and August in Jamaica. It's not free money. That's your salary for the 10 months that you were working. So it's the same in in the United States.
And they also provide you opportunities to work summer school with
Right.
more pay than your regular scheduled pay.
Yes.
So that's another plus.
Um, what did you do after you got your extension after 3 years?
What did I do? What did
She's
I
still
do?
working at the same school. I guess that's what
Yeah,
they're asking. You're still at the same school,
I'm
right?
still at the same school. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Marlene says, thank you all. Keith, she's the best teacher my son comes across. Wow.
Aww.
Kaisha Johnson says, I have an interview with a panel the 2nd of February. I'm excited and nervous. You can do it, Kaisha.
You can do it. Just be
You can do
yourself.
it.
Be your natural self.
Be yourself. There's There's tons of videos and some questions they may ask. Even on this channel, you can check those videos out for
Trust
some
me. Very, very
possible
informative.
interview questions,
Hmm.
study, and just as Simonique says, be yourself and all the best. All
Hmm.
right. So I think that's it. There's no more questions. Guys, we are so appreciative for you this evening. If you have not liked
Definitely.
this video as yet, Simone did an awesome job. If you have not liked this video as yet, I dare you to give it a thumbs up. I guarantee nothing's going to happen after you touch that thumbs up button. You will still have your finger. Give the video a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to this channel as yet, go ahead and subscribe. You don't want to miss out on all these great information that will be coming. Again, for those who are online, at one point I had 82 people live. If you would like to share your international experience, go ahead and send me a message on IG on Kicking with Dr. Britton. Don't be shy. Don't be shy to share your experience and knowledge with the teaching community. Remember, the more you share, the more you learn. Okay?
Yes.
We're learning from each other. So go ahead and send me that message if you'd like to share. We can set up a date and we can decide how we want to move on. Okay? Again, thanks, Simonique, for coming. Donna says, thanks, Dr. B, and thanks, Simonique.
Thank you
Um,
too.
Come over and share, people. I want to hear. Yes, we want to hear and we want to educate others who want to explore this international teaching journey.
Hmm.
Okay? So, guys, if you have not, again, give the video a thumbs up. Spicy Case, a big up my sis Monique.
All right, Kimmy.
All right. Big up Simone, Josephied all the way. We know
All
that.
the way.
Josephied
Whoop,
all
whoop.
the way, all the way, all the way. So, all my ladies and gentlemen, if you are there online, go ahead, send me a message if you'd like to share your international teaching experience on this platform. Derek Hanchard said, great job.
That's my daddy.
Thanks, Alec Boss. You're welcome, Shireen. So, guys, go ahead and send me your interest in sharing on this platform. She's truly a great teacher. Keep up the good work, hon. I know she is. So many people could not be testifying, and it's not true. I have parents on IG, on YouTube, and they're just giving it just as it is.
As it
Thank you,
is.
Simonique, and I
Thank you
want
so
to
much, Dr. Britton.
congratulate you in your future endeavors,
Thank you.
wherever they may lead you. I wish you all the best. Continue educating our children of tomorrow with all the energy and the zest and all the dancing and the jig and the jag I steal from the music. I have somebody else in the chat who's every day singing and dancing and brain breaking on Facebook. Those who don't know Diane's vlog, Diane on Facebook, same thing in the classroom. The kids
I think
appreciate
we're
it and
naturals at it. Trust me. And they do love it.
they
Believe me.
love it. They
They
love it
love
and
it.
they look forward to going to a classroom
Hmm.
that is not all just sit down and do work.
That's true.
They want to know that their teachers are invested in them. You love them
Mhm.
as a child and not just as somebody you're educating.
Definitely.
So thanks for that. And I hope, as I said, I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Guys,
Thank
if
you
there's
too.
nothing more, we're going to take our leave of absence to get ready for work tomorrow. Keith says she's a gift from heaven. And again, if you have not give the video a thumbs up, go ahead and do that. Subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.